Hey, now, why didn't I think of doing this before? I don't know. Because in previous video blogs, you've had my face about that far away from your face, which is kind of invading your personal space. And now, because I'm using a mirror, it all works, and you can see my beautiful camera, which is you in this conversation. Isn't that strange? This is you. That's what you look like. You look like this thing. It's a very nice thing. I mean, I'm not going to slag that off. Anyway, E3 happened. Isn't that cool? I thought E3 was 2 weeks ago, and I thought I'd forgotten to do a video blog last week. And I was very confused for a moment, because it turns out that E3 was actually only last weekend, which is when Brett had his video blogs. And we did the live blog, and we posted recaps, and then I slightly slagged us off in a roundabout. I slagged myself off in a roundabout way because of my editor's choice column, and it was fun. I enjoyed myself. I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm not sure what to do with my hands during this piece, because normally I'm holding one whilst the other one is doing things. Behind my back? No. Maybe I'll hold plant. No. Okay. Let's just get through this video blog. I've got a lot of caffeine in my system. And my lovely t-shirt, which you can't read because it's flipped backwards in the video. So E3 happened, and Nukezilla, I mean, we didn't do anything to that we should have done. Like all the other websites, post a load of crap and then go, everyone check out our website. We didn't, because we're bad at websites. Instead, we did what we wanted, and it was fun. And I've been chatting to Brett over the last week, and it turns out that, like, when you have kids, a wife, and a job, then time to write up your hands-on impressions of games is very slim, which is why we didn't have, like, a week of solid content last week. But the stuff that Brett got hands-on with, you will get over the next, like, week, 2 weeks, year. But E3 is kind of just a fun thing, and it's, like I mentioned in the video blog, it's partly so that we can get you coverage, but it's also partly just so that we could go to E3. You know, that's just a fun thing that happens. But it also gave me like a bit of a break in a way, because I was working on Nukezilla full time. I took a week off work so that I could do stuff with the website, and then we got things like the live blog, which, because I've now coded the tech and coded all the software that needs, that is a thing which Prime blogs will be able to do. You'll be able to set up your own live blog. Now, they're quite resource intensive, so hopefully they don't get super popular, but worrying about something being too popular is not something that I should be doing. So, out my mind. Anyway, it gave me time to kind of think about the site and what it means, and I think what's kind of happened, because you'll notice there's people have kind of got busy, and the site, I don't know, like, I posted this in the forum, and I've got to be very careful with how I say this, because I'm doing something here that most people don't do with these video blogs. Like, I'm actually trying to be honest, but if you're honest, then as anyone with a partner will know, it can get you in trouble. So, and by that I don't mean that you look fat in what you're wearing. I wouldn't want to comment on any of that. But how to word this? I think Nukezilla kind of lost some of its steam, because when it was Negative Gamer, it was raw and angry and exciting and like, argh! And then we were like, right, let's fucking take this anger and let's fucking march over there and punch these people in the face with be the change that we want. And then we became Nukezilla. And that momentum kind of carried on for a bit, and then over the last maybe 6 months, it's sort of gone boof. And it hasn't stopped, because I don't want to say, like, oh, Nukezilla, it's dead, because obviously it isn't. We have more people reading than ever before, though fewer page views than ever before, because our priorities, instead of being, let's be a profitable website, turn to, let's be a good website. But let me worry about the business side of things for now, until I'm poor, in which case you can worry about it again. But it kind of got me thinking about focusing, like, what is Nukezilla? What makes us different? Because when news slows down, when people get busy, I look at our ad revenue and I go, oh no, we've made $5 this month. This isn't going to cover the $120 for the servers. And then I start saying to the staff, like, hey guys, if you're around, could you just write something? And instead of I'm doing it wrong. I'm like Michael Gove in education. I'm doing the wrong thing. Instead of saying get posts up, I should be saying, like, hey, what will it take for you to want to have the time to write more? So instead of looking at it as quantity of posts, it should be looking at the forces which make people want to write. And that kind of got me thinking about what's the focus of the site. And we had a bit of an internal staff chat, and Pete's fantastic for chatting about this stuff because he's very good at waffling. And I think I was tired and grumpy one evening, and I was chatting to Pete online, and he proper cheered me up. Thanks, Pete. And essentially, Nukezilla is 3 things, as best I can tell. And 2 of them come from our tagline, which we have had since Negative Gamer, which is because the games we love could be better and corporate bullshit still exists. Useless fact, the reason why it's 2 things is because I realised that at one point the games we love might be better, in which case there would be no reason for being. Whereas corporate bullshit, that's going to be around for a long time. So there's three sort of parts to Nukezilla. There's because the games we want to be better, and so I was thinking about this, and it's like, well, what do we do as Nukezilla to make games better? Well, I mean, we do reviews, we do previews, hands-on, haikus, these kind of reviews type things, but we don't really do that many in-depth features about gameplay because they're very, very hard things to do. But that's something that I want to cover more on, and that's something that you guys in your blogs, it gives you the perfect opportunity because you could write, I don't know, 200 words on why this very specific thing is shit in this game, or why this very specific thing is great. And the blogs have this weird freedom because they're like this subset hidden away. You can just do whatever you want. And then that will sort of slosh backwards and forwards because then the writers and me will want to feel more comfortable. Like I could just write 200-word article on the front page saying, hey, I really like this gun in Call of Duty because, like, this is this tactic on this map is really fun. And to do that kind of in-depth niche kind of stuff, and hopefully we are entertaining writers so that if you don't care about, like, the best way to win a certain game mode with a certain gun with your friends on Call of Duty, you'll still find it interesting because we all like video games. We don't like specific video games, we just like video games as a whole. And that's something that I want to do. And then you can, once we're bigger and we can afford it, we then get more in-depth features and interviews and stuff, and it's a very positive message. And to counter that, we have the second point, which is corporate bullshit still exists. We're talking Battlefield 3 DLC. Why? Give it for free. You make a shitload of money. A shitload plus one load of money makes no difference to you. Just release it for free and then you have a better game. It's like Modern Warfare 2 is the perfect example of this. They made God knows how many millions and millions of dollars, but they could have had dedicated servers. Now, anyone who plays Modern Warfare 2 will know its multiplayer really does crumble at times because there's no dedicated servers. The matching is crappy, and it's just got all of these flaws, which are there so that, like, there's no the only reason not to have dedicated servers is so that Activision can make more money. That's dick. Like, and then, like, those 2 guys from Respawn are suing because they were expecting to get $125 million bonus. I'm sorry, I can't, like, we should be defending the meek as gamers who spend £60 billion on these guys' stuff, and then they're bickering over hundreds of millions of bonus. Kind of lose some sympathy. Like, yeah, you made a good game, but that's just this whole other world. And then the third thing, and this is the clever thing, and this is where we get right back to, this is where because we were Negative Gamer, then Nukezilla, and now we're this thing, and the core's kind of missing, that raw thing, because, you know, I can't fucking say, you know, the company Bleep, they're a load of bleeping bleep holes, because I have to work with these people, like, I will have to talk to these people, and it's just not a polite thing to do. It's fun, but it's not polite, and that's where these little blogs, the Prime blogs, and this is where the community and the forum, really can, because you guys have that freedom, which is weird to say. And this is where I basically want to... The third thing is to have a raw, sensible, smart community. I want to have a forum thread where you can post, like we've got the Duke Nukem is Great forum thread. Now, very few people think that that game is great, but we can have the discussion because we're not a website filled with people going, you are a faggot because you think this and blah 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 blah, which is probably because anyone who thinks like that will be made incredibly uncomfortable by the sheer liberalness of people like me who run the website. And, you know, they've got their home on YouTube or wherever people like that hang out. And so the third thing is this community, which is you guys having this freedom. Because the reason I set up Negative Gamer is because I had a Destructoid community blog, and I was a very angry person, and I would just rant and rant and... Well, I mean, not even rant and rant and rant. Like, I would rant occasionally, and all you get in the comments is people telling you to shut up and go away. And it's like, that's... No! So that's why Negative Gamer existed. Then Negative Gamer became Nukezilla, and it sort of lost that ability. And that's where putting these blogs back in, like if I now want to rant against people who I may or may not work for in future, I can make it a Prime-only blog. And then you get this, like, privacy that's really cool. Anyway, I've ranted on for like 11 minutes now, so I'm going to stop there. But that was what I was sort of thinking. It was sort of like a regrouping of me. And yeah, like the site's in an interesting place. The site's always in an interesting place, which is why I keep doing this instead of making money. But yeah, Nukezilla Prime blogs are still currently on paper. They don't really exist. Realistically, there's probably going to be like 2015 before those damn blogs exist, but they're getting there. I'm really cool thing, actually, which is kind of a bad thing, but I keep ending up, I'll go on the site to write something up, and then I'll see some people have posted in the forums, and then there'll be these really long, really cool threads, and I'll just sit there reading them and reading them and reading them, and then I'll go back to watching TV and be like, oh, wait, I meant to write a goddamn post. So if you're not in the Nukezilla forums, well, actually, no, everyone watching this video is. I keep forgetting that this video, it doesn't go out to, like, this isn't like an advert for Nukezilla. This is me talking to you 60-odd people. You people! But anyway, I'm gonna go. What are you up to today? I am going to roller derby, which is awesome on a lot of levels. And the NZcast is coming back. So what are you up to today?